kitchen. So I probably scared the shit out of this old man because he decided to hop in his car and take the fuck off. Hello, 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 hello. Thank you for clicking on this video today. I'm doing a turmeric face mask on my face, and it's gonna be very relevant to this story time that I'm about to tell you, because there's a reason why the turmeric face mask plays a role that's very significant in this story time. So I hope you enjoy this story time, and also the turmeric face mask application I'm gonna show you. So feel free to relax, listen to the story, and tune in. Okay, alright, let's get started. With me, I have some milk. There's some milk in this bowl here, as you can see. Without spilling it, I think I can show you. Yeah, there's a little bit of milk in there. And this is used in my turmeric face mask. I use milk. I'm also gonna be using some turmeric. And I put some cinnamon in there. These all have really good properties. And then lastly, I'm gonna put some honey. I'm gonna put some honey in it. Okay, so we have our milk, we have our turmeric, we have our honey, and we have our cinnamon. So these are the 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the 4 ingredients that I'm going to be using in my face mask today. So first, let's pour the milk. Like so. Then I'm going to put some cinnamon. And while I prepare this and everything like that, I can go ahead and start telling you the story. This story takes place. I didn't even bring a spoon to mix it. Hold on, let me get that spoon real quick. Okay, so I was able to get a spoon. So this story takes place on March 2019. And this is the time that I was still in high school. And in high school, it was when I was a senior. And in high school, I took a class called sports medicine. And in this class, we weren't required to go into school for that specific class on a certain day, and that was for Tuesdays, I believe. And so this Tuesday, I add some more turmeric. This Tuesday, I didn't go into class, so I was home having the best time of my life because I didn't have to wake up early or anything like that. And said, you know what? I deserve to be pampered, so I'm gonna pamper myself today. And I did just that. I put together the face mask I'm doing here. I started pampering myself, and I came to find out that I am kind of hungry, so I went and turned on the pot to cook some food. And my family's Jamaican, so like a traditional snack we would have is plantain. So I decided to fry some plantain. And at the time, I would watch this popular show called Shameless. It was a show about this family called the Gallaghers. And the Gallaghers were basically like a family. They didn't have the means of a rich family, you know, they weren't wealthy, they couldn't afford much, but they always stuck up for one another. So I love that show. So I was invested in it. And when I was watching the show, I wasn't downstairs with the plantain that was frying in the oil. I was upstairs in my room watching the show on my phone. And I also had a little bunny named Scout at the time, before he passed away in June of, that was 20, he passed away in June of 2021. And that was my little bunny at the time. That was my little baby. So I was just upstairs with Scout, and then all of a sudden, while I was watching Shameless, I started to hear, I should probably wipe my face off before I apply. While I was watching Shameless, I started to hear, a fire alarm in the show. Well, I thought it was in the show. I thought it was a fire alarm in the show. And then I'm like, wait a minute, like, they're out and about. They're not at the house. There's no way that there could be a fire alarm in the show right now. It doesn't even sound like it would match what's happening right now. And that's when it all clicked for me. I was like, oh shit, I left the plantain on the stove with the oil. So then I shot up and I ran downstairs as fast as I could because I was freaking the fuck out. And that is when I saw all the fire, all the smoke that was coming from the kitchen. When I came around the corner of the stairs and I saw that, I knew I was fucked. I knew I fucked up. So I go run downstairs and I try to see what happened, and by the time I turn the corner, like through the smoke, I see the stove and there's fire raising committee do it. So I'm freaking the fuck out. All the things that they teach you in school. And at the time, all of the stuff that they teach you in school about, like stop, drop, and roll, put the flour on the fire, all of that stuff, all of that shit went out the window, okay? Because when you're feeling the adrenaline rush, when you're feeling that adrenaline, it's hard to think. Like, this is what jobs mean when they say, like, can you work under pressure? Because all that adrenaline goes out the window. I mean, all of that knowledge you attain goes out the window when you're in such a traumatic situation. So what I decided to do, rather than grab the flour from the cupboard or anything like that, in the moment, I grabbed the pot off the stove, because I thought that since this is an oil fire, if I get the oil out of the pan, then like the fire would stop, because the fire was just contained in on top of the pan, on top of the oil, but there were little sprouts of fire that were going over onto the cupboards and stuff like that. So I took the pot and then I went outside with it, and then the fire went away because the oil went out of the pot. But in the process, that's when the fire swept over my hand and burned my skin completely off. And it was such a fast and swift movement that I didn't even process the pain that was about to come. So I was freaking out. I ran back upstairs because my bunny is my everything. And I ran back upstairs to check on him to make sure nothing happened to him, because fire spreads quickly, like the smoke and everything. So I could see that the smoke was seeping out of the vent. The smoke was seeping out of the vent upstairs already. And then when I checked on my bunny, he was none the wiser. He was just playing around. He didn't even realize what was going on. And like, I got my phone and I first thought, let me call my mom. Because I don't know, like, my mom is like my safe haven for everything. So I called my mom and she wouldn't answer, because at the time, like, she's a language arts teacher, so she didn't have the time to answer because she was she was teaching kids, so she's not gonna have her phone like on sound during class. And when that didn't work, I started freaking out even more. I went and I saw my neighbor crossing the street. Like, I saw my neighbor across the street, because there was a house right across from my house across the street. And I ran over there and I was like, help me, help, right? Mind you, I am calling out to this old man, this old gentleman, looking like this. Like, my face is completely filled with the Tumeric mask, right? Like, he probably thought I was the mask. Like, he probably thought I was Jim Carrey trying to get his fucking attention. So I probably scared the shit out of this old man, because he decided to hop in his car and take the fuck off. It's funny now, but at the time, like, it just broke my heart. But I didn't even realize, like, bitch, you have a fucking turmeric face mask on your face. It looks like doo-doo is on your face. Like, of course, he's not gonna want to help you. Like, he probably thinks you're a fucking weirdo, but like, at the time, I was in so much trauma, I couldn't even fucking remember that I had this stuff on my face. I couldn't even think about So I'm just thinking like this dude just left me because he didn't want to help me, but no, like look like my face. So so I ran back inside when I saw that he wasn't gonna help me, and that's when I decided to call 911 because it's like, come on now, like there's nobody else, there's nothing else. So I called them because, mind you, I already put the fire out myself. I forgot to mention because after I put out the pan, my guy's getting all up in my mouth. After I put out the pan, that's when I came back in and I took some water in the bowls and then I threw it on the fire that was still on the cupboards and the counter and stuff. So I took a little water in a bowl and I was splashing it on the little flares that there were. So the fire was already out. And now I just needed help because the kitchen was gone. So I end up calling the 911. I end up calling 911 and they tell me that I should remain calm. Yeah, so the lady on the 911 was trying to calm me down and to keep me from continuously freaking out because then, like now, once the fire's out, the adrenaline is somewhat coming down. So I was able to start feeling the actual pain that my hand was feeling after being burned off. And she advised me to run my hand under some cold water. So I did. It took like 10 minutes, like 10 to 12 minutes for the fire team to get there. And ever since I was a little girl, I've always had a thing for the firefighters, so I was fangirling. I was in pain, but I was fangirling, okay? I was fangirling in pain. And then they told me, they were like, do you, they were basically just checking in on me, trying to see what happened, and they said that, you know, they didn't expect me to put the fire out myself or whatever, and they gave me this rag to wrap my hand in, and so I wrapped it in the rag, and they were asking why my hands were wet, and I was saying that I was advised by the 911 operator to put my hands under cold water, and they said I wasn't supposed to do that. So they ended up taking me and they took me on a stretcher down, and I'm telling them like, hey, like I can walk because the way the decline down from the ramp where we would park our cars in the garage was so steep, and I'm like, you're not taking me on a stretcher down that decline. And mind you, like I'm looking like this, so when they first saw me, they were like, oh my god, did you burn your face? Did your face get burned off? And I'm like, no, this is a turmeric face mask. Yeah, I let them know that it's a turmeric face mask. I didn't burn my face off, and I just felt so embarrassed because I'm just like this is not the fucking time. Like I'm in pain and I look crazy. So they took me down on the stretcher. I don't know why they had to do it. I guess it was protocol, but they took me down the stretcher and then they put me in the back of the ambulance truck, and that's when they gave me some morphine to cope with the pain. And it was like really bad, so they also had to give me fentanyl because it was really bad. Like the pain was unbearable. And then they drove me to the hospital. It felt like it took a while to get to the hospital. I don't know why. Probably because I was like about to like knock out from sleep or trying to sleep. But even after they dosed me with the dosages, I still could feel the sizzling burn. That's how painful it was. And when they put me in when they brought me in, and then I was put into the ER, every doctor took a pause and like they all turned their heads towards me and were looking in shock. And I'm like, I cannot believe this shit because the entire ER thought that I burned my face off. I'm like, you guys are doctors. You can't tell the difference between a turmeric face mask and a burn patient that burned their face off. And I'm just like, dang, like, I'm like, damn, that's all crazy that you all really think I burned my face off. So they took me to the once I got checked into the ER, they took my vitals and everything like that. I was eventually able to move to a room, and that's where in this room, that's where they started assessing my hand and see what they were gonna do about it. They ended up removing the skin from my thigh and using it as a skin graft on my hand. But yeah, they had me count from a certain number, and then like I don't even remember finish counting before I fell asleep, and I felt like I just went into an abyss because I don't even remember dreaming. I just remember waking up. And I was in the hospital room, and my hand was wrapped up and my thigh was in pain because they removed skin from my thigh and put it on my hand. So I had to go through this whole therapy treatment. I had to go through physical therapy. I had to go through therapy for my hands, my legs, like walking again because of the pain from the thigh. And I had one nurse I had a bad experience with, and it was when I was in the shower right after I got out of surgery, and she was trying to rip the gauze off of my skin graft, like where they removed the skin from my thigh. She was trying to rip the gauze or the wrapping off of it, and I'm yelling, screaming, crying, telling her that I'm in pain, like please stop, and she told me, she was like, everybody and all the patients tell me that they don't like me, but they know I'm just trying to help, and kept on fucking pulling the shit off my leg. Like I was livid. I was like, I'm in pain, like we're not fucking doing this. I was running, I was limping away from this woman because she kept on trying to fucking pull the shit off when I'm telling her I am in unbearable pain, like it hurts. I just got skin removed from there, like what is wrong with you? So I ended up pressing the button for another nurse to come, and they made her stop. And when I was leaving the hospital, they were apologizing profusely, telling me how sorry they were for what she did, how she never should have done that. Like that was just really horrible, and it was really depressing in the burn unit because I could hear the moans and the groans of all the other burn survivors who I'm sure went through something 10 times worse than I did, and it was just so sad to hear everybody in pain. And and there was Lifetime, like the hospital will have like some movies or something like a TV that you can watch, and there was Lifetime playing, and Lifetime was depressing because it would be the same movie, the same girl getting killed over and over again when she already knows that it was a bad guy to begin with. Like the same plot over and over again was just so depressing. That's my story of how I obtained my burns. I went through therapy. I had to wear gloves on both of my hands because I got burned. Well, this is turmeric, but I got burned right here as well. So they had to give me a big skin graft. I had big skin on this one because the oil got over here, and I had to get a big skin graft. But this one was so damaged and gone that I had to get a skin graft from my actual skin. And they did a big skin for this one because it wasn't as serious, but it was still a 3rd degree. And so yeah, like there were times where my hand, like the big skin, smelled disgusting, and it was itchy, and just like I'm about to get hives thinking about it. Like I really don't like stuff like that, so I really had to just like do what I had to do. And mind you, this took place while I was a senior in high school, so everybody else is getting ready for graduation, going to prom, but I can't because I'm rehabilitating. And the moment that they told me that I wasn't going to be able to graduate, I was like, no, like that's not happening to me. So I had them, they gave me, my mom met with the school, and they set up a plan of all my assignments with all my teachers. She got to meet all my teachers again. And they set up a little assignments that I missed and stuff like that I had to do, and I did all of it from home within a span of, yeah, I graduated in May of 2019 and this happened in March. So with a span of a month and some weeks, I completed all the assignments I missed within that 2-month period. I completed all my assignments so that I would be able to graduate, and I was able to go into school like at the very end, right before it was about to be graduation time, and I took my exams and I passed them, and I was able to graduate on time despite that happening. So I'm really proud to be able to have done that. But yeah, that's my story about how I got the burns on my hand and why the turmeric face mask is so significant. But thank you for listening to this story. Thank you. And I hope that whatever my face mask you decide to make today, maybe it'll be the turmeric face mask, maybe it'll be a different one. I hope it helps you rejuvenate your skin and feel good about yourself. And I love you so much. And